Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. Hopefully I got that on there. Supportive Oracle cards. Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name. That way, if you'd like to find any of these creators and support them, you can do it as you see fit. There you go. Anything else with that? I think we're good. Aquarius. I feel like I want to take up most of the room on this table for some reason. That's interesting. Is this good or bad? I don't even know. I don't even know just yet. Alright, let's find out. Starting off with impatience. Impatience, but there's a standstill at the same time. So it kind of makes sense to me, kind of like, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to do, let's get things going. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. It's just, alright, so nothing is happening. But you're like, no, I'm not going to sit here and do nothing. We need to do something. You got the death card on your side. This is about an energy you're dealing with that's opposing you. It's about somebody who's standing in your way, and I feel like it's a constant here. It just feels like they're constantly in your way. Because I'm getting like the death card on your side, like I'm sick of this. This just holds me back. Whoever this is, I feel like it's a person. Whoever it is, they always hold me back. I need to get away from this. I need to change this. I don't know what I need to do, but I need to shut this down because they're always standing in my way. The death card is kind of like your involvement, like I am finished. This is a moment where you're arguing with this person. It's ending up in disappointment again. Nothing is happening once again. And it's kind of like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't stand this anymore. I'm sick of arguing. It's kind of like, I'll argue if it'll make a difference. I'll argue if it has an outcome that is worth it. But if all I'm doing is it's just argument after argument and nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. It's like the only constant here is nothing. Because that's what happens. Nothing. I'm trying to deal with this, but I'm realizing that I have to be the one that changes it. I can't go any farther with this. I can't. I'm getting the impasse with the death. I can't do this anymore. You're going to make a major change here because it's either stay in the situation and just be like, well, I guess this is what it is. Nothing forever and always. Forever and always, nothing. And you can't do it anymore. The only way it's going to change, the only way you're going to get the death card to actually happen is to accept it and like block out the situation, to change it altogether, because it's not changeable. The impasse is telling me you can't get past it until you make a big major change. When you do this, it literally might be what the other side wants. They have impartiality with gratitude. No, I feel like it might be what they want. It says impartiality. I'm almost feeling, when I feel impartiality with this, it's not even you that they're standing against. It just might be that that's what they do. Whatever somebody wants to do, they're always there to stop it. That may be just kind of like, they just want to be the killjoy. I don't know. It's a general read. Take it how you want. I just kind of feel like this is a really... The way I'm reading this, it just feels really negative. Kind of like they just want to be a problem. And it's kind of like if it's not you they're a problem for, that's fine. They'll be a problem for somebody else. I don't know. That's how it feels. I'm hoping it's not that bad, but it might be something like that. Impartial with the gratitude. Like, as long as they get what they want, they don't care who they have to drive crazy to do it. That might be more. I think that's more on the level. As long as they get what they want, they don't care who they have to argue with about it, whether it be you or somebody else. As long as they get what they want, and the thing is, I feel like they might want to just argue. That literally might be the thing. There are people in the world that are like that. They just want to argue, and it doesn't matter what the subject. They're just going to find a way to drive somebody nuts and argue about it. It doesn't even matter to them. They just literally they want to argue. The Empress comes in here, and I'm getting like. This is kind of like helping you realize this energy. Kind of like Aquarius is very smart, but your gifts are meant to create change. You can enjoy an argument. Aquarius usually can enjoy an argument to an extent. I don't know how exactly that works. I don't even know. But to an extent, you can enjoy an argument. But the purpose is to create something from it. It's not just to argue for the sake of arguing. You have a purpose, you have something to move forward, you have that communication ability to like make people think and get people to really think about what they're saying and what they're really doing and make that change and make it a worthwhile change. But in this situation, the whole point was to see when arguing has no point, when it's just worthless, it's not doing anything for you or the situation, and you need to just remove yourself from it because it doesn't matter. It's just not making that impact that it needs to. And also realizing like when you're arguing with somebody, you have to have somebody who participates. If they're not participating and really actively involved in this argument with you, if that's what it has to be, then it's a worthless argument. It's not creating change. It's just making somebody pacify the situation, and it's not good. I noticed the like when I put down this card, it immediately went like this is how I laid it down, and it immediately like turned like that. Which is telling me you're blocking this person. But they're going to try to get you going again. Once you're out and you have decided you're done, you are done. You can't make an Aquarius argue. That's another thing. I don't think people realize that sometimes. Like, you can't make an Aquarius argue with you. If they don't want to, then they won't. Then that's it. Like, I think people miss that sometimes. They have control of that energy. If they don't want to use that energy, they will not. They can see right through it. Right through it. And if they don't want to, you're not gonna. And you're shutting this down. You are shutting this down. This person is trying really hard. It's funny, it says expansion, but I'm feeling blowhard. I'm feeling like somebody's really, they're going around you. They're trying to get other people riled up. They're trying to tick you off any way they can. They want to get you right back in the action. They want to get you going again. They're like, oh, you think you won't argue with me? Well, I'll make you argue with me. It won't happen. Aquarius usually has control of that energy. You can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, because I think you do. I think Aquarius is like, you can argue very easily, and you can turn anything into an argument if you so desire. But you also have complete control in the sense of, like, if you don't want to, you shut it right down. Nope. You know how to cut it right to the quick. The quest with the Sun card. You're moving on. You're looking for something, like, I'm getting this is almost like the swan song. Like, I am done. Goodbye. The quest, you're looking for something else, and the Sun card is like, I'm looking for something else that suits me. I'm sick of this worthless situation. It goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. This other person wants to cause all these problems. That's nice. It's almost like you're leaving a job, or you've decided I'm going to find another job, and somebody's trying to cause problems for you, and you're like, cause as much as you want. I'm going somewhere else anyway. It's not going to matter. You have this sense of peace about you with the Ten of Cups. This person may be trying to drive you completely mad, but you're seeing you got the serenity in the middle of the storm. It's like people can be upset as much as they want. I've already made my decision. I know what I'm going to do. You're moving on. I'm getting it again. Moving on. I feel like you're moving on from this energy. Just kind of like, I'm done. I'm going. I'm finished. It's not worth it anymore. This energy is not changing. It's not changing with the Four of Pentacles. It's not changing at all. But you're working towards something else. Be careful where you go next. What are we saying by that? You got perfection. Perfection is usually a warning card. And you got the Three of Pentacles. You're going into a new situation, whatever that may be. And it's going to take a lot of work. But I feel like what they're saying with perfection is like, you may notice other people's faults pretty quickly. Don't drive yourself nuts trying to plan how to deal with that, because things are very fluid where you're going. Be careful of perfection. Like, it's gonna, whatever it is gonna be a bit crunchy. Like, you know, it's not gonna work out quite well. But it's gonna be better. You are gonna have adversities in the next situation. But it's kind of like, the whole point of what you're leaving and what you're going into is like, to choose like what's worth your time and what's not worth your time. You probably could fight all these battles if you wanted to. That's not the issue. But only spend your time on things that are truly worth it. Be careful, like other people, like, because this person feels like they sucked you in. Somehow they sucked you in, but I feel like you're past it now. But I almost feel like they created more problems for you. In this next situation going forward, only spend your energy on what's absolutely worth it. Only what's worth it. When you're leaving this situation behind, I'm getting a lot of, like, it wasn't, like, it's kind of like you're going to look back on it thinking, was it ever really worth it? Did all that energy I expended into it, did it ever really amount to anything? That's hard. And you got rejection, and what's the other one? Guilt. Part of you is going to wonder if you let that person get the best of you, and that you should have just stuck it out until you finally won. The thing is, they were literally loving the energy. They were like a vampire, just sucking that energy right off of you. They loved it. They used it. It was like a game to them. There was no winning in that situation. The trick is when you get here to not feel like, you know, somebody got the better of you. To feel like, you know what, you saw it for what it was and you ended it. Because sometimes that's what winning, that is the winning. Seeing what it is and not spending all that more energy. It's kind of like if you look at like an older car, maybe, you know, when I was a kid this was a thing anyway. People who have these old bang shabangs and they keep putting money into it and they keep putting money into it and it gets to the point where they're spending $100 or so every month to keep it going. And then you point out to them, you're like, you know that money you've spent in the last 6 months, you could have leased a car for 5 years, or not for, you know, you could have leased a car the whole year, a nice car, and you just spent all that money pouring into this thing that's just going down the drain slowly. You're putting all this money into this car that's going down the drain slowly, and you could have used that for something else. And that's the point here. You stepped out of a situation that just kept failing and kept failing and kept failing. You kept putting all that effort, putting the hundreds of dollars into this failing car, when you could have spent a lot less money on a lease or getting a new car and putting in the payments or whatever you want to put. You know what I mean? That's like, don't feel the guilt, feel the accomplishment of like deciding this isn't going to work anymore. It's not worth my time. It's just sucking up my energy. It was never going to succeed. I think that's the whole point. To realize that this is a success that you got out of it. A success that you left it. That you stopped putting your energy into something that was going nowhere. You were wasting your energy. And instead of spending X amount more energy into it and putting so much into it and so much into it and so much into it, maybe at some point, maybe you would have finally won. But you would have wasted so much energy for that one little win when you could have had 10 other wins 10 times over. That's the point. Don't feel guilty. Feel accomplishment. Are we good? I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.